Incredible story. The police caught this guy using Google Chat. Take a look at some of these messages the police informant received. You just saw one. We need you warned. These are very graphic material from the police report. So here we go. He wished, meaning this guy you just saw in that piece, he wished he had some Molly to give the juvenile female in a shot of liquor to, quote, get her horny from the start, unquote, because, quote, Molly helps minimize the initial pain so she would actually rather enjoy it, unquote.
What?
It's insane. He also, quote, plans to get the parents in different rooms, dad first, big knife to the throat, unquote. And then again, the same thing you just saw. He knows that once he executes the plan, it will get easier and he will not be able to stop. His plan, thank God, was not carried out, Sam, because the people had the good sense to look at that creepy environment and not go in. But he got close with two families.
Yes.
All right, so let's go to our defense lawyer, Anahita. He had clear intent here. He didn't actually finish his, didn't carry out his action, but there should be some serious punishment here, no?
Well, look, obviously it's going to be a hard defense. There was overwhelming evidence that possibly he was trying to go through with the crime, but his defense attorney is going to argue, wait a minute, this was him expressing his thoughts. You know, you can't convict someone based on their thoughts. This was fantasy, that he was never really going to do anything. Yeah, he's a sick puppy, but he wasn't actually going to go through with it. This was him fantasizing. I mean, it's going to be a difficult defense, but that's what he's going to argue in this case.
Anahita sounds so sincere. She's so convincing. But I saw you get that. Michelle gets this look of disgust on her face that is unmistakable.
Don't be disgusted.
Go ahead.
No, Anahita, you're absolutely wrong. Look, he was downloading child pornography. That's illegal, okay? And what he was doing was a threat. That is not protected speech. You can't say that this was him just expressing himself. What he was going to do, he was going to do it. He was going to implement it. And thank God they stopped
the child porn charges, Dr. Drew, won't come in the charge of attempted rape and murder. I'm sure his defense attorneys are going to move to exclude because it's not relevant.
But how can you say that this is him just expressing himself?
Of course it's relevant.
Well, he's being charged with different crimes. He's going to be charged with possession, I presume, of child pornography. That's when that evidence will come in. But in terms of his attempted rape and murder, what he had on his computer, the defense attorneys are going to argue that's prejudicial, that's not relevant, so it won't come in. But I agree with you, Michelle, that's not protected speech. And Dr. Drew, you and I talk about this a lot, about the thought police.
I agree with that. You know I'm on your team with that one.
Right,
We shouldn't be thought police, but Wendy, I also say a lot. Hold on, Michelle. Hold on, Sam. You too. Hang on. Wendy, I talk also a lot about clinical judgment, and our judgment tells us this guy is really dangerous and needs to be contained, and I'm not sure this is a treatable situation.
You know, it's like how we assess for suicidality or any other crime. We look at whether they have a means, whether they have a plan. He had all these things together. But, you know, how often on this show, Dr. Drew, have we said, why did people ignore the warning signs?
Yes.
Why did people ignore the warning signs? So here are some warning signs, and we're acting on them. Forget freedom of speech. I love freedom of speech, but not here, not when there's a means and a plan and a weapon and a plastic sheet.
So there, defense counselor, there you go.